Okay, can you hear me? This is a story about jobs. At the dawn of mechanized AI, humanity faced a unique and urgent problem: the overlap between human labor and the capabilities of increasingly sophisticated robots. Machines were rapidly taking over tasks humans had performed for decades. And the question loomed: what would happen to the billions of people rendered economically obsolete? On a global scale, think tanks and policymakers grappled with this existential challenge. After years of deliberation, top minds reached a single conclusion: to stoke the idea of colonizing Mars. The notion of a new frontier, unclaimed, full of opportunity, and ripe for exploitation. It sparked hope and imagination. A modern-day gold rush was marketed, but this time it was for the Red Planet. This idea did not exist in isolation. At the same time, the world underwent what some called a global consolidation. Urbanization efforts ramped up at unprecedented scales, with a massive push to move people into tighter, denser living arrangements. Behind closed doors, powerful interests manipulated computer models to paint a dire picture of humanity's environmental footprint. According to these models, human activity was producing catastrophic levels of CO2, and immediate action was required to save the planet. However, whispers circulated that these models had been carefully doctored to stoke fear. Fear, it seemed, had become a business model. Global media conglomerates backed by well-funded political campaigns amplified this narrative. Politicians were either generously compensated for their compliance or indoctrinated from birth into a system that rewarded obedience to the ever-changing media narrative. But beyond the manipulated data and fear-mongering headlines lay a darker truth. Geoengineering, a term dismissed as conspiracy theory by mainstream outlets, was openly acknowledged in scientific literature and patent records. Technologies designed to control the weather had quietly transitioned from speculative science to active application. Weather manipulation was no longer the stuff of science fiction. It was a tool wielded by those in power. Hurricanes and tornadoes were intensified. Winter storms grew harsher. Patented technologies could allegedly amplify or direct these natural phenomena. It wasn't just the storms themselves that raised questions, but their strategic timing and location. Disasters appeared almost calculated, targeting areas where their aftermath could pave the way for specific political or economic objectives. Fires, for example, became devastatingly effective tools. In many regions, deadly infernos fueled by a combination of arson, smart meters, and directed energy weapons cleared entire communities. Official reports blamed natural causes, but skeptics pointed to the unnaturally precise patterns of destruction. These fires often made way for smart cities, designed to be populated by fewer humans and more robots. These cities promised efficiency and sustainability, but masked a darker reality: totalitarian control. Advanced AI systems paired with militarized law enforcement drones ensured that these new urban centers could easily monitor and intimidate their inhabitants. The once dystopian notion of a surveillance state became an inescapable reality. Above the cities, chemtrails crisscrossed the skies, leaving behind toxic residues that poisoned the air and water. Official explanations describe these trails as benign byproducts of air travel. But independent researchers pointed to their role in cloud seeding, a practice used to manipulate weather patterns. Programs like HARP the high-frequency active auroral research program, were openly acknowledged as experiments in atmospheric electricity, yet their full capabilities remained shrouded in secrecy. Rainstorms and blizzards became tools of control, with floods displacing populations and obscuring true causes of destruction. In the aftermath, displaced communities often found themselves herded into urban centers, aligning neatly with the broader agenda of consolidation and control. For the average person, the sheer volume of information and conflicting narratives made discerning truth from fiction nearly impossible. Conspiracy theories abounded, but so did credible evidence and systemic manipulation. Educated guesses and a strong instinct for the recognition of bullshit became the only tools for navigating this labyrinth of half-truth. While some disasters seemed engineered to force urban migration, others appeared to serve a different purpose: gaining access to untapped natural resources. Regions affected by natural disasters often found themselves exploited in the name of progress. Minerals, water, and other crucial resources were extracted to fuel the growth of a technocratic society. The construction of AI-run infrastructures, the development of robot workforces, and the creation of smart cities all demanded raw materials often conveniently obtained in the wake of catastrophic events. Amid this backdrop of manipulation and control, the questions remained. Would these efforts be enough to convince people to leave Earth altogether? Could the promise of Mars with its barren, inhospitable landscape truly inspire hope? The idea of colonizing another planet required immense faith in the very systems that had manipulated and deceived humanity for so long. Governments and private industries alike poured resources into the marketing of Mars as a new beginning, a blank slate where humanity could start over. But beneath this glossy brochure of inspirational speeches lay a troubling reality. The same forces that had been driving people to the brink of desperation on Earth would oversee the colonization of Mars. Would people trust these entities to create a better future on an alien world? Or would the dream of Mars become yet another tool of control, perpetuating the same cycles of exploitation and inequality? The answer to these questions remain uncertain, but one thing is clear. The story of jobs, AI, and Mars is not just about technological progress. It's about power, manipulation, and the lengths at which humanity will go to survive.